I made my first YouTube video when I was 9. Today I'm sitting at 50,000 plus followers across all my social platforms. If you ask any content creators, including myself, they'll tell you their biggest regret is not starting earlier. And after overthinking for a long time, I finally got the courage to film my first ever video. From there, I hit 10k in 2 months and landed my first few paid collabs. I've met the most amazing people through content creation. I think the biggest thing I gained out of this entire thing wasn't the money, wasn't the followers. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kaylee and I'm happy you're here. I know it's been a while, I haven't posted for some time, but you bet I'm back. But happy September, how's everyone doing? I'm gonna give you guys some updates because I think my life has changed a bit since you have last seen me. First of all, I moved back to Melbourne. I was in Canada for 4 months for an exchange program. After that, I went back to Malaysia for like 1 to 2 months, and honestly I was just at home eating, sleeping, seeing family, and that's it for the whole time because I was so exhausted from being abroad. I think exchange just do something to your brain and your body that I just needed that rest at home, and it was so good. But yeah, I came back to Melbourne in June, just in time for my birthday in July, and I spent my first birthday in Melbourne with all my friends. I made like a little home cafe setup and it was so pretty. It was the best 21st birthday I could ever ask for. When I came back in June, I stayed at my friend's place for like a month, and I felt bad because one of the sisters had to live on the couch for 2 weeks. But I'm glad now we have a 3-bedroom and everyone have their own rooms. It's just so cozy and vibey. Our lease is for a year. We have already done like so many activities together, like cooking, decorating our new apartment. Anyways, I got way too sidetracked, but today we're gonna talk about the story of how content creation changed my life in just 60 days. I'm gonna touch on my entire content creation journey. I know I've rarely talked about this on my channel before, how I know this is for me. Tips on content creation. If you have wanted to start but fear what others would think about you, I get it, trust me, I used to feel the same exact way. I made my first YouTube video when I was 9, and in school everyone had an iPad. I was in year 5 and I used to watch 7 Super Girls. I don't know if you know this, but the sex channels. My friends were into them as well, so we created a group chat on messages. How the sex channels work is there are 7 girls in the channel, and every week a different girl is assigned to create a new video. My first video was like, I think it was like a night routine, and I remember having so much fun. I even like made my brother help me film it. I remember thinking if I could do this full time, I totally would. I didn't even know you could make money from YouTube or content creation, but little did that 9-year-old know content creation will be such a huge part of my life at 21 years old. Today I'm sitting at 50,000 plus followers across all my social platforms, and it might not seem like the biggest number, but that's the amount of people that could fill up one of the biggest stadiums in the world, which is insane if you think about like that. But the thing is, growing up, I was never the creative kid. I wasn't good at drawing, I wasn't good at painting, I wasn't good at design and technology. On the flip side, I was always the sporty kid. Although I wasn't good at maths, but I took maths up till like the end of high school, even throughout my A-levels. So I started believing that I wasn't cut out for the creative world at all. But deep down, when people asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up, I always had YouTube in the back of my mind, but I just like never said it out because I know like people wouldn't take me seriously. So throughout middle school and high school, I just documented my life here and there. Like I had a phone, I just took pictures of things I like. But I think my turning point was when I realized I spent so much time curating the perfect Instagram feed and the perfect photo that I was like, why am I doing this for free when I could monetize from this? Which is why in 2020, when I moved out of high school, I went to a new college for pre-U. Throughout that 2 years, although it was COVID, I decided to start my YouTube channel. And after overthinking for a long time, I finally got the courage to film my first ever video. Basically a really random travel vlog, but I remember my parents got me a camera and I was super happy about it. I told myself that it would be my motivation to film more YouTube videos. Although the video was shit and the quality is super bad, but I just remember me having so much fun in the process of it. I posted it and it probably got like 7 views. 4 of them are probably my own different Gmail accounts, and I didn't tell anyone about it, not even my closest friends. So throughout my A-levels, I would post videos here and there, but never really consistently, and my friends would eventually find out about it, and I remember feeling so ashamed and cringed out. I just wasn't proud of my videos. It was a 2-year program, and I think towards the last year I was just super stressed out because it is like such a hot program. But yeah, I remember restricting myself from creating content because I needed to study. So that's why right off A-levels I decided to take a gap year, which was one of the first big decisions I made for myself. I barely went out, I rarely socialized, and my goal for this one gap year was to do everything that I wanted to do during my A-levels but didn't have time for, including creating content. It was a year of solitude for me because all of my friends were in uni, so I pursued content, did internships. There was a lot of self-growth within this like 1 year of gap year. But then in March 2023, I discovered UGC on TikTok randomly, user-generated content. Essentially, these are just normal people paid to create brand videos for the brand to post on the brand's profile. And you wouldn't need to post on your own social platforms. That's why you don't need like a following for it, which I get it. It's so accessible. Obviously, it will blow up. At that time, I've never really done short form content, and I never really believed in it for some reason. I think it was too short, and as someone who has done like YouTube, I still preferred my long form content. And I saw so many success stories on TikTok from US, but I've never really seen success story in Malaysia. So I decided to start it and document it. Started new TikTok accounts, new Instagram accounts, just because the TikTok people said it was good to have an online presence. And because it was a brand new account, I had the confidence of posting whatever. So I think I posted like every day. I put like everything into it just because I had nothing to lose, honestly. I documented my entire journey and shared tips to other people who wants to start this journey. And to my surprise, people actually started liking my content. My first video went viral, and I think it was a mix of luck and also hard work because I was already used to creating YouTube videos. I knew like the basics of creating content, and in 2 weeks I grew my following to 5K on TikTok and landed my first gifted deal, which I remember was such a surreal moment for me because I used to see influencers get PR packages, unboxing and all that. I don't know why I accepted because they asked me to create like 3 or 4 videos for like the 6 kombuchas that they sent over. You gotta start from somewhere, right? From there I hit 10K in 2 months, which I know, insane, and landed my first few paid collabs, and I think I made my first 5-figure month simply by doing what I love the most, creating content. I think the biggest thing I gained out of this entire thing wasn't the money, wasn't the followers, it was confidence. For the first time in my life, I felt competent. Growing up, I was never the best at anything, which fed into my low self-esteem. I think content creation proved to me that if I put my effort into something I really believe in, I can achieve goals that I once thought was out of reach. This whole year of freedom gave me the solitude to explore all my passions, and it's just the beauty of trying new things without expecting anything in return. And in my case, it turned out to be something completely life-changing. To wrap up, here are some lessons I've learned from creating content on and off throughout my entire life and full-time for about 3 years now. Honestly, I think I'm creating this video because I wished I had a video like this when I first started. First of all, make sure to fall in love with the process even when you're not making money from it. The biggest mistake I see people make is they do it for the money or fame, and they just end up quitting because they don't see results. As the truth is, content creation is such a long game. You can't expect to go viral overnight. You probably could, but these are just such outlier cases that the majority of us won't ever experience. What really matters is consistency and resilience, so make sure you really love the entire process of it. There's just so many skills beyond filming, editing, posting that people are not aware of. Admin, negotiating, talking to brands, networking. So I think starting UGC was a blessing in disguise because it got me familiar with all the back-end and post-production things that I would probably not ever experience if I just jumped straight into this like influencing journey. Content creation is such a spiritual journey. You're constantly reflecting on your own work, and sometimes the video you expect to do well might just completely flop, and that's okay. You learn to keep showing up without expecting anything in return. Followers aren't everything. What really matters is building genuine connections. I've met the most amazing people through content creation and through the internet. In fact, some of my best friends and housemates that I'm living with are people I met through online. And this is one of my favorite things about putting myself online. Like when I was doing my abroad semester in Montreal, I didn't know anyone, and I just posted a random video on TikTok saying, oh, I'm here for exchange and I don't know anyone from Montreal interested in making friends. And I ended up meeting like 5 people from the comment section, which is insane. Like how much connections you can make globally. My third advice is that you will never really be fully fully ready. The faster you start, the faster you can work on your skills and becoming a better creator. And actually, people love seeing the progression of you throughout this entire journey. If you ask any content creators, including myself, they'll tell you their biggest regret is not starting earlier. I used to overthink a lot about my videos. I think I filmed like 10 times saying the same exact thing. But the thing is, that's part of the process. You get better as you go, and there's just no like shortcut to that. The more you do it, the more you learn about, oh, what's a good angle, what's good lighting, composition. And I think one tip is to make content creator friends, because this way you can be transparent with all of them and you guys can just like help each other out. That's why I'm also creating a community with my best friend for content creators in Melbourne, because I think content creation is such a lonely journey, and I think you just thrive so much better when you are with people that are doing the same thing. Little plug, but if you're in Melbourne, do hit up our creator core. We host events here and there to connect creators across the region. Just accept that your first video would probably be shit and cringy, and that's okay, because cringe is just a side effect of future success. But anyways, if you have been meaning to start this entire content thing, let this video be your sign. In just 60 days, content creation changed my life, and just think about how it can really change yours too. There's just so many ways of making money today. You can create your own business, you can sell digital products, drop ship, sell your ebook. Like, there's endless possibilities of making money today, and brand deals and content is just part of it. But I can guarantee you, a personal brand and putting yourself online will just benefit you for whatever you do in the future. So pick up that phone. You don't need fancy equipment. Film yourself and post it. I don't care if it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, anywhere. Who knows where this thing can lead you to. You just have to be a little delulu. Don't wait for other people's validation. No one has to believe in you except for yourself. If you have this strong urge and desire inside of you to create content, there has to be a reason for it. So start today and have no regrets. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm so thankful you're here. I had so much fun talking to you guys today, and yeah, see you guys soon. Bye.